Hello everyone, how are you? So today we are going to discuss actually some MCQs, the tricks of some, MCQ, and this kind of MCQs are very common in competitive exam. Either it may be GATE, ISRO, SET, NET, or if you are preparing for PGT, either it may be KVS, NVS, whatever. So okay. So main problem in case of MCQs, you know that only just solving this are not only enough. You have to solve this within this time period. So today we are just see the tricks of it. Okay, let's start. Okay, read this question carefully. Here this one is given. Consider the singly linked list. This linked list where f is a pointer to first element. You can see that f is a pointer to first element and L is a pointer to last element. Now the question is the time of which of the following operations depends on length of the list. Depends on length of the list. So you have to find out the operations where it will depends on the length of the list. Okay. Now see. First option given. Delete the last element of the list. As we have two pointers here, if you are just going to see all the options, then I will discuss it one by one. Next, delete the first element of the list. Third one is add an element after the last element of the list and interchange the first two elements of the list. If I just go from question number 4, option number 4 to option number 1. See, interchange the first two elements of the list. As we have the first pointer f, so we can easily write it that say I am saving the value somewhere in a temporary pointer. I am saving the info part. Say this is info and this is next. This is info and this one is next. Try to understand it properly. Info next. So I can save the value of f info and next f next. F next, that means this part info is will be changed. Okay, sorry. First save the value of it. F info first say I am writing temp equals to, so I want to save this. I am writing f next info. So the next, this one will be saved here. Now you want to change the value of it and I am writing f next info equals to f info, this one f info, and obviously now you want to save the value of f info equals to temp. So no need to depends on the length of it, because just using the first one you can just change the value of it. So no need to depends on the length. Next, add an element after the last element of the list. Very easy. As we are getting second pointer which is pointing the last element, so you can add it easily. You can write L next equals to the new node. There will be some malloc, or if you are using the new operator, whatever you want, but you can write it L next equals to the node, new node, and L will be shifted. If you are adding some node here, just adding some node here, so it will now point to it and L will be shifted. So no need to depends on the length of it. Second one, delete the first element of the list. If you want to delete it, so simply you shift the F pointer. So now F will be F next and free the first one. This is also possible. No need to depends on the length. Now delete the last element of the list. See this option. Delete the last element of the list. As it is a singly linked list, you know that previous, that means the before it, you cannot traverse in reverse direction. You cannot traverse in reverse direction directly. If you want to delete the last element of the list, you have to traverse it from F to before L. First you have to set the L before it to delete the last one. In this way, I can say that delete the last element of the list depends on the length of the list. Here the option is option number 1. Because as it is not the doubly linked list, you cannot traverse in reverse direction. So you have to start it from the starting to just before it. You have to stop and then L will be shifted and you can delete it. So that's why here delete the last element of the list will be the answer. Okay, go to the next question. Okay, in the next question, we can see here it is given a stack is implemented with an array of A0 to n minus 1 and variable POS pos the push and pop operations are defined. Pop operations are defined here. You can see these are defined here, and you have to decide what will be the initial value of pos. So here the options are given. You have to choose this, but seeing this code. Now see one thing. So array is, you know that it is from 0 to 0, 1, 2 to n minus 1, isn't it? Now say I have set the pos value as minus 1 initially. Okay, fine. So if I set it minus 1, the pos minus 1, that means just before it. So a pos x. So first data will be inserted and then pos minus 1. So it will be minus 1, minus 2 like this. So pos minus 1, not possible. Not possible. Second, pos 0. So if I am here, pos value is 0. First x will be inserted here, then it will be decremented. So next time the pos value will be here, pos minus 1. So we can insert only one element. So this one is not possible. Next one, same problem. If I am inserting the first here, say x1 will be inserted here and x2 will be inserted here. So we can insert only two elements, because after that it will be minus 1, minus 2, which is not possible. If I am initialize a value of pos n minus 1, that means here. Now you can see that decrement. So we are actually able to access the entire one, isn't it? So we have deciding this one from push operation, but still you can verify it from the pop. Here it is pop pos plus 1. So first, if you are going to delete it, first it will be, say now the pos is here, the last inserted element, pos plus 1. So next it will go here. Now if pos equals to 0, pos will go to 1 and return this one, a pos this one will be returned, and in this way you are actually able to get the stack, actual concept of stack, where the last inserted element will be deleted and your insertion will be done from here to here. So here the option is this one. Okay, next one. It's very simple. I think you can already answer this question. You have already. Okay, let's check it. Which of the following data structure may give overflow even though the current number of element is less than the size? Options, given options are stack, simple queue, circular queue, none of the above. So I know that you know about stack. Here it is. We have only one pointer. Say now the top is here. If you are inserting data, the top will be incremented. Now top is here. You are just inserting data one after another, and if you are going to delete it, if the top is here, say this is the total capacity of the stack, now top is not able to insert. Now you are not able to insert any data. So if the top is the upper layer, uppermost value, so that time you are not able to insert the data. So, and if you are going to delete it, you have to delete it from one by one, from this one, then this one, then this one, like this. So in case of stack, you can understand one thing, that it will be inserted in this way and it will be deleted this way, by direction. There by direction, and insertion is here, deletion is here. So there is no possibility, only a single pointer is handling this one. No possibility of may overflow when the number of element is less than, not possible. So this option is cross. Now see the simple queue. Okay, I'm writing it for the simple queue. You know that in case of queue, simple queue or linear queue, what is told as linear queue, here we have two pointers. One is front and another one is rear. Say we have front at here, rear at here. So you can able to insert data. Data will be inserted one by one. And finally the rear is here. Okay. Rear is here now. From here to now rear is here. And now you have started deleting data using the front. You know that which will be the first inserted data that will be deleted first. So we have to maintain two pointer for this, and in case of queue, the insertion will be in this direction from here. First, if the rear and front are at same location and you are going to insert one by one, then the rear will be incremented, and when you are going to delete it, then the front will be incremented. This is a basic concept. And so the insertion and deletion are in the same direction. Always remember this, insertion and deletion are in the same direction. Now if rear is here, you are not able to insert any more data. Now think that you have started deleting data, and after some time the front is here. So the front is here. Now total number of element, say if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, total number of element is 5, and the total capacity is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can see that the number of element is 5 and you have total capacity 8. Still you are not able to insert data in case of simple queue. This is the problem. So here the answer will be simple queue. To remove this kind of problem, that means when the number of data is less than the size, still you are not able to insert data, we are actually using the circular queue. The disadvantage of simple queue will be removed here. So here you know the structure is, the logical structure of it is like this. Okay, go to the next question. Okay, next question. It's a very simple question because here it is given. Okay, first see the tree. Now see the question, that what is the in-order successor of given binary search tree? Here it is given. It is very easy to answer this question. First of all, the question is probably in ISRO 2020. So here it is given. It is just directly given that the binary search tree. You know, binary search tree and in-order. In case of binary search tree, the in-order traversal will always be in the ascending order. So here, if you just write it in the ascending order, then here the tree will be, I'm not doing the in-order traversal of it, I'm just directly writing it. You can check it also. Here the 2, 4, sorry, there is 3 also. 2, 3, 4, then 6, then 7, then 9, then 15, then 17, then 18, then 20. I've covered all this. Oh no, sorry. Okay, then it is 13, then 15, then 17. As here it is given, so the in-order successor, you can easily understand the in-order successor will be 17. Here sorry, I have forgotten to give the options. Okay, whatever, the in-order successor will be 17. Now, see one thing. Here it is given that the binary search tree, directly they are given this one. If they are not given this, that if this one is not given and you are questioned to answer this, that what is the in-order traversal, first try to check the tree is in order, the tree is binary search tree or not. How can you understand this is binary search tree? Number one, there will be no duplicate node, and next the left subtree will always be lesser than the node and the right subtree will always be greater than it. Here in this case you can see that the 15, the left subtree, whatever is the value of the left subtree, you can see all these value are actually lesser than 15 and all this value of right subtree is greater than 15. If you consider only this part, that only this subtree, if you see this subtree, you can see that 6, if you are considering 6 is a node, the first node, then you can see that 3, 4, 2, the values are lesser than 6 and 7, 13, 9 are greater than 6. So in this way you can check that the tree is binary tree or not, binary search tree or not. If it is, always remember the in-order traversal of binary search tree. No need to do this here. We also know that in-order traversal is left node right. First you have to traverse left subtree, then node, then right subtree, but here it is beyond the scope. So as I said that as this is a binary search tree, that means two of these condition will be hold, no duplicate data and the value of left subtree less than the value of node, and this is less than the value of right subtree. Whatever I have told, if it is not the binary search tree, then you have to do this one, traverse this. So here it is beyond this question. Okay, if you want comment, I will discuss it later. But now, okay, for this question, I'm just ending this. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, next question. Here it is given that the in-order traversal is this and pre-order traversal is given, and you have to find the post-order traversal. Options are given. Okay, let's start. As you know that pre-order, in case of pre-order, the first one is the node. So here A is node, okay. A, find the A here. So in case of in order, after A, whatever is there, it is actually in the right subtree, and whatever is there, it is in the left subtree. So as we get C, only a single node, we can directly write C here. Now next we have rest of this D, B, F, E, G, H, and here it is B, D, this part. Now B is the first one. That means in this subtree B will be the node. Okay, here I am writing B, and here B is, now find the B in order traversal. B is here, and before B we have this D. Fine. Now we have already placed this B and D. Now we have E, F, G, H. F, E, G, H. Now we will always try to find it out from the pre-order, and here in right subtree we have in order, it is F, E, G, H, and pre-order it is E, F, G, H, isn't it? Now in order, pre-order, here it is E, okay, place E. Here E is here. Before E we have F, okay, fine. So here we are getting F, and now we have all these in right subtree. In right subtree we have G, H. In order, the order is G, H here also, and pre-order it is GH also. Okay, now from pre-order it will be the node, G will be the node, and in case of in order you can see that G is H is after G. So here we are getting this. So if I draw the resultant tree, it will be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, fine. This is the resultant tree. Just to make you understand, actually I do this step by step that you can understand it easily. Now we have to find out the post order traversal. So from this resultant tree we have to draw the post order traversal. Okay, so what will be the post order traversal? The post order traversal is first left, then right, then node. Okay, fine. So first we can start it from A, which is a node, then we come next B, another node, D, and left first we come to here, and you can see that there is no left subtree of D. So this is D will be printed. Next, right, D node is B. Then we have to go right, E. E is node, is right, left is F. Okay, F will be here. And next, E right, so we will go here, G, and G has a right node. So first we know that right then node. So first right, that means H will be printed first, then G. Okay. So D, that means the left subtree done, and here left subtree done, E is left subtree done, right subtree done. Now E. Fine. Now B, because left, right subtree has already done, then B. Now right of A is C. Now all the left subtree of A and right subtree of A done, and A will be printed. Now see which one is matched here. So first D, D, it's E. Okay, now it's A, D, A. Just for be confirm here, D, F, H, G, E, B, C, A. So this will be the option. You can also do this in different way. Though we have done this in this way, but a very easy way to do this one. If it is the question of post order, remember that in case of post order traversal, we will just draw the arrow in this way. Okay, for every node, draw the arrow in this way, like this. Now just do one thing. I feel that this is a very easy way. Okay, now see, if I just draw it, okay. So here it is the end. I will go upward. Okay. So first it is touching which arrow? D arrow. So I will write here D. Next we have to go back here. Next it is touching which one? F arrow. Okay, F again. Now it is touching which one? H. Touch G. Touch E. Next B. It's touching B. Next again we have to come here. Okay, again we will start. It's touching C. Now it's touching A. See, both of these answers are same, isn't it? So in this way you can also easily solve the question of traversing of tree. So here I have just shown it for the post order traversal. There is also the tricks of in order and pre-order also. If you want this, please write it in comment box. We will discuss about it. Okay. Bye bye. We will meet soon.